Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Platformers live stream. And like a few weeks or months ago, I remember the first time I saw like the announcements on Kagent, and I said, okay, running agents on Kubernetes can be really excited, and I'm really like exciting to introduce you with Lin San. Lin is a lot of stuff, but one of the main things, she's like the main lead maintainer for Kagent and also for other projects like Istio, if you know it. And she's like the lead OSS for Solo. Lynn, how are you today?
I am doing great. Thank you so much for having me, Guy.
Thank you for joining. You're so like you're doing so many stuff, but Kagent actually like I think caught everyone attention
That's great
in
to
the last few weeks.
hear.
Yeah. So before we are starting, for the people joining us, if you do want to ask questions like during the session, you want to ask Lynn something about KGen, K-Gateway, whatever, feel free to comment. If you're watching LinkedIn or YouTube, comment on the video. We will see that. And when we have time, we will stop for some questions.
That sounds good. Do let me know if for this question I didn't see it. So
I will stop you. I will stop from time to time when we have like a bunch of questions. So people
awesome.
watching us do post a lot of questions, and when we got some bunch, I will stop for asking. So, Lynn, maybe you can briefly explain a little bit what is Cage and when it started, and then we will go and see the presentation.
That sounds good. Yeah, so we started K-Agent probably earlier, I would say late last year and early this year. We started a prototype K-Agent internally as solo due to some of the complexity we see internally with our customers to support our customers on their adoption of service mesh and API gateway. We find out we just can't scale our team very nicely to support our customers. So some of our team's expertise was built in a group of experts, and we want to kind of spread that out more to our support team when they interact with their customers. So we started thinking about how about we create a project like K-Agent that can bring agentic AI easily to Kubernetes and some of the hot CNCF projects so that when our support engineer was troubleshooting with customers, they kind of having an expert of the project sitting next to them to help them troubleshooting problem together without always ask our developers. So it's kind of like providing the first level of defense or second level of defense without asking the expert. So that's how we started creating K-Agent. And for such a project, we don't believe we can do it just with Solo. So we open source K-Agent in March, and we just celebrated 100 days of K-Agent. So lots of good momentums on the project. Hi, Chris. Good to see you. And Chris is actually one of our community member on the K-Agent project.
Oh,
So
nice. Thank you for joining, Chris. Such an amazing story to hear that you got this like signal or requirements from the field, and then you created this project out of it. So maybe you can walk us through a little bit of the intro to Kagent for people that may know a bit, may want to learn more. And the stage is yours. And Lynn, thank you very much for joining. I know that you have a lot on your plate, like with Istio, with Kagent, with a lot of people asking you. So thank you very much for joining. I'm as I said, I'm very excited for this session.
yeah, thank you so much for having me. I am ready to share my screen whenever you are. All right, so can you see my screen with the
Yeah,
slides? All right,
yeah.
so I'm going to walk you all a quick introduction of K-Agent. This is our story. Hurricane Helena hits North Carolina and the southeast of the United States, I believe last fall. So when Hurricane Helena hits a good portion of US, one of our customers is an insurance provider, and it happened right over the weekend. that insurance provider, their production environment was down because everybody was busy submitting claims. So we had to, some of our key engineers had to sit on the call to help the insurance provider troubleshooting problems. And that's when we find out, we just can't scale very well as a company without leveraging some of the intelligence of the AI. And that's when we start looking at K-agents and creating K-agents as solo. So we had a very bold vision of K-agent project. We want to bring agentic AI to the cloud native ecosystem. So once we set that vision, we started looking at integrate K-agent with a couple of very key CNCF graduate projects like Istio, Kubernetes, Cilium, Prometheus, Argo. So these are the projects that we have built-in support in K-agent. In a nutshell, K-agent is composed of a framework. When we initially started the project, we started with AutoGen open source agentic framework started by Microsoft. And we build a controller around it, so it provides declarative capability around our agents. We also provide a dashboard, which is a nice UI and CLI as part of K-agent. Inside of K-agent, the real meat is the agents and tools that are used by the agents. So if you're not familiar with agents, in a nutshell, agent is composed of system prompt, which contains the instructions and the brains of the agents. And then agents typically use a large language model and also a bunch of tools, right? You might be thinking, why do agents need tools, right? If you go to ChatGPT today or a large language model, it doesn't necessarily be able to do specific tasks for you, like go to GitHub and open up a pull request or create a branch or even get the weather of today in New York City for you. So that's what tools really comes in. The model context protocol is to solve in the spawn of tools problem. So we have a standardized way to connect to different tools, like a USB-C adapter for your machine, for your laptop. So this is how people actually consume tools today is through from the agent and through the MCP server, which supports different MCP servers supports one or more tools. So you get access to reuse other people's MCP server, like GitHub MCP server, Slack MCP server, or some other MCP server to do specific tasks, which we will touch a little bit on the demo. When we started the K-agent project, it was before A2A was born, right? Soon, I believe in April, Google announced A2A protocol with which standardized the communication protocol among agents to agents, which we believe is a key component in K-agent, because in K-agent, you don't necessarily just have one agent, right? It's critical for agent to talk to other agents. So we added support not only for MCP, but also A2A protocol. In a nutshell, I think if I were a user of K-agent, what strikes me of K-agent is very, very easy to use. The UI and the CLI are super intuitive. The agents itself are declarative, which means if somebody else, like Chris in the audience, he developed a K-agent for one of his agents, he can grab that YAML and share with me or anybody else and deploy in my Kubernetes cluster that also have the K-agent framework, and I could easily get somebody else's agent up running fast. With that, I'm going to jump into a demo. All right, can you see my browser? screen, right? So
Yeah, you can see the browser and the Argus CD one, right?
All right, perfect. So how much time I have? I still have 20 minutes. So this is my demo application, which I actually config to point to my generative AI demo application right here. And in this demo application, I kind of config the Kubernetes as the path, which has a bunch of configurations. You can see it configs the Istio ingress gateway to route the traffic to the demo application. It also deployed the demo application along with 2 RAG services, version 1 and version 2. And I also have a curl application, which is the client.yaml. It just allows me to do some tests. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to sync the screen sharing button. Let me move that to the side. I'm going to click on the sync button to sync the latest of my repository into my Kubernetes cluster, which I have it here. Let me enlarge that too. So this is my Kubernetes cluster. You can see I have Argo already installed. I have port forwarding setting to the Argo server, which is how I reach out to the Argo UI here. I also have Istio Ambient installed. For those of you who are not familiar with Istio Ambient, it's the new mode to run your application in service mesh without any sidecar. So you can see I've enrolled, if you look at the namespace here, I've enrolled the default namespace to be part of Ambient just by simply label the namespace. And if we go back to the pods, you can see these pods are in the default namespace. They don't have any sidecars. They are part of Ambient. And I also have Istio Ingress Gateway installed, which if you are not familiar with Gateway, it allows you to config incoming traffic to your cluster. So it's how you typically expose your application or services in the cluster to the cluster outside. Let's see, and then I have Istio installed. What else do I have? I have Kagent installed, of course, in the Kagent namespace, and that's about it. So what I'm going to do next is I've set up port forwarding to forward the traffic from Istio Ingress Gateway to my cluster localhost 8888. So I'm going to try to go there. And what I'm hoping, I guess there's some problems. So what I'm hoping is when the traffic arrives on the Istio Ingress Gateway, I'm hoping the traffic would config to forward to the demo application through the let's see if I have it here.
Port gateway into the pod or the service?
Yeah, it would through the route configuration, which is the Kubernetes Gateway API, and forward to the demo service, right? So this is not really working right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually use Kagent to help me solve this problem, finger crossed, to see if it works. So by the way, when you use Kagent, can you see the screen well on my terminal?
Yeah, if you can increase the font a little bit, that would be even
Is that better?
Yeah, 2 more.
A little bit more bigger? 2 more?
Yeah, I think now it's fine.
Right.
I will check with my mobile
perfect.
at the same time.
Okay, thank you. So if you want help, there is a bunch of things to guide you. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to run chat to chat with one of the agents I created. Actually, let me show you one of the agents I created first. So this is, so I set up a Kagent UI as port forwarding. I think it's let me see, 8080. Let me double check the port number here. 8082. So which is what the Kagent UI is running. So as part of the work, I config my model, which I'm using OpenAI, by the way. And I'm also having a bunch of tools available for my agents to use. Out of the box, these are the tools provided by Kagent. And you can see the Istio, Kubernetes, Prometheus, Helm, Grafana, Docs, which allows you to upload docs to a vector database. So you can use conversation style to search. And it has Argo, Cilium. But what I did is I want to use the GitHub MCP server. So I basically loaded the GitHub MCP server into and configured to in Kagent, which allows me to have access to a bunch of tools such as create an issue, create a branch, create a PR, all provided by the official GitHub MCP server. So as part of the work, I built AI agents to help me troubleshooting. So this agent has a bunch of tools that's been used. Actually, I want to see, so you can see it can use some of the tools from the GitHub MCP server. It has some of the tools from Kubernetes to figure out what might be going on. And as part of the agents, I also have a system prompt for the agents. System prompt is a little bit longer. So basically, we expect the agents to be expert in Kubernetes, help us troubleshooting issues. And we ask the agents to play on the safe side to try to investigate first. And we ask the agent to analyze resources. And in a nutshell, we ask agents to suggest changes before implement anything, because we want a human in the loop instead of a human on the loop. All right, so that's a preview on the agents. I'm going to chat with the agents. You can chat with the agents either in the UI or in the CLI. Just for fun, I'm going to chat it with the CLI.
Can you increase the font a bit for the terminal?
This was the window I just increased. You want more? Is this good
enough?
enough?
Yeah, I think that's enough. Yeah.
Thank you. So I'm going to give a name demo, and I'm going to say the demo service in the default namespace cannot be reached from Istio ingress gateway, right? Can you debug for me? So this is a problem, right? We try to reach out to the Istio ingress gateway, and we were getting an error message. So we're asking the agents to see if the agents can troubleshooting for us. All right, so you can see it's the agents is doing based on the system prompt we tell the agents to do, right? To gather the information, to present the analysis, and present the recommendation and action plan. So it's going to calling the tools, which get resources, one of the tools, and sometimes the agent's actually acting faster than I can talk. So I'll wait a little bit and see what the agents are doing.
But I think, it's much faster, but I think the main point is actually clear, that the fact that it actually plans based on the instructions and then go and activate the tool all the way until it got some of the information, right?
Right. The goal is you have a plan and you transfer your knowledge about that plan to the agent, so the agent can help you troubleshooting, hopefully a little bit faster. And what's even neat is you transfer your expertise of your plan maybe to somebody who are not familiar with troubleshooting Kubernetes, Gateway API, or Istio to somebody else, right?
Yeah, I guess it's much faster than I would do it manually.
Yeah, so now we're just looking at the summary, right? So it says it doesn't have an endpoint config. It didn't find the virtual service. And then now it wants to know the GitHub repo, right? So what I'm going to say is I'm using HTTP route, which is the new route configuration, not virtual service.
Yeah, for people that are not familiar, so virtual services, correct me if I'm wrong, like it's the virtual service of Istio. So it's a Kubernetes resource like representing a virtual service for the Istio, and then the gateway can be connected through that virtual service.
Yep, that's a good way. So basically, I'm giving some hints to the agent about HTTP routes instead of virtual service, and I ask the agent to grab the GitHub URL from the Argo application instead of me typing it. Let's see if the agent can do the work for me. All right, so sounds like it was able to get the resource YAML and figure out the demo application. Okay, it does figure out my repo URL and Kubernetes, which is great. Now it's going to search the repo for demo HTTP routes, the Kubernetes path, and it's going to review, propose the edit. All right, yes, please. That's what we are going to say. Yes, sorry. Yes, please.
Let's fix it.
Yeah, because the plan looks right to me, right? To search the repo and think out the routes. And okay, I guess it finds the issue. Apparently, there was a mistake on my side. So the routes configuration is currently exposed. We put on 8080, but the demo service is on port 80, right? So now it's going to check, yes, please, and can you please create a PR pull request. Okay, now we're going to ask the agents to continue and ask if they can help create the pull request. Okay, so it has a nice action plan, right? Modify the HTTP routes and change the port number and commit the change to a new branch and create the pull request. Now, finger crossed if the agent can do the work for us. Sounds like it's trying to create a pull request. All right. Looks like the pull requests are created, number 7. Do you want to check out the pull request together?
Obviously.
All right, let's do that. What I'm going to do is hit the refresh button. I think this is the number 7 pull request, right? So by the way, the reason why the My Helper agent is opening up the PR is because when I config my GitHub MCP server, I pass a token, which I pass the My Helper agent as the token. So it's nice it doesn't come from me. So let's review the changes. So it's exactly what it was explaining, right? The demo service was listening on port 80, and I had a typo, which the route configuration was pointing to the wrong port. So this should fix it, hopefully. What's nice here, though, in my opinion, is it actually gives a nice description and title all together in the PR. So I'm going to go ahead and merge this. And the finger crossed, this is going to fix my problem. So I'm going to go back to Argo to sync the latest configuration over. And if everything works, if I hit here, hopefully my demo application is going to keep running. Okay, let me double check what's going on here. All right, where is my terminal? Right here. All right, so I think we fixed the issue. Let me double check the port forwarding, just making sure I have the right. Okay, so I am port forwarding on 8080. Okay, so let me hit the application again. I think I'm hitting on 8080. Why is this not running?
I think it's fixed it to 80 and not 8080. Is it possible?
Let me double check. I thought I had an 8080, so okay, it's not this screen, sorry. Port forwarding. I think I had 8888. Okay, but I wonder if this port forwarding may not be working. Let me double check. So wow. Looks like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
let me do a port forwarding again, just making sure. So I'm going to do 80 and 888. Okay, and I'm going to do Argo here just in case if I need to use Argo. All right, so I reset the port forwarding and it was port forwarding. Did you see that? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the localhost port forwarding are not very reliable. And yeah, I know that because when I run port forwarding with localhost, sometimes I got the disconnect error. So this is a demo application. We ask Kagent to debug for us. Now we should be able to ask some questions. So we're going to ask what is Istio ambient mesh. Ambient mesh. All right. So
Wow.
hopefully that would give us some hints. It's a feature of Istio, open source. Okay. 4.7. All right. I don't think. Do we have Istio 4.7
No.
release? Oh my gosh. This is completely lying. Okay.
You're running very fast.
So this is the classical example of large language model. It's so confident you have to double check the work, right? So yeah, so this is why sometimes people are using RAG. In this case, we're using RAG to upload what ambient is. So we can hopefully ask what is Istio ambient mesh. And finger crossed, that's going to be giving us a little bit more accurate answer. All right, I actually have more to show, but I want to be respectful of the timing because I think we hit the 30 minutes mark, so I can take a pause. If not, if I have a little bit of time, I can show like Kagent deploy waypoint, but I think we may be out of time, depends on the questions we got.
Yeah, so we don't have question on the chat. My only question I got is like, is the MCPs that you showed previously are part of like the open source project, like for example the Argus DMCP, or is it something that baked into Kagent?
Yeah, so the MCP server I'm showing, it's the official GitHub MCP server. So I'm just basically reuse what's out there. By the way, what's nice about Kagent though is the MCP server, you can basically what I did is I created a tool MCP server and I added a server and I specify how to run the GitHub MCP server. So it's all here in Kagent. What's nice about Kagent is it's declarative, right? So I should be able to go here and to see the two servers. Finger crossed. This is the one I want to show you. So that GitHub personal access token, I'm going to need to change it, but that's for my bot, not for my GitHub ID. So, but you got the idea. So basically, you can see the model config here. So which is the OpenAI model. Now I'm a little bit nervous to show you because I think it might have my OpenAI token. And
so no, you don't have to do so. I will
here. So all the agents information are in here also. So you can see the status of your agent, the system messages for your agent, what I showed you in the UI. Along with what the tools the agents are using, which we scroll down a little bit more, we should be able to see it. You can see this is a MCP server from GitHub. I'm using its tools. So all that's declarative in Kagent. What this means really nice is you could use like an Argo or Flux to automate the deployment of your agent and easily deploy to different cluster, or just grab this YAML and share with some other team for them to reuse your expertise through AI agents.
Nice. And one question before we are done, like, what is the future? Where are you going at with the project? What should we expect?
That's great. Actually, I forgot I have 2 more slides. Okay. So what we are doing right now is Aitan on the team is actually bring Google's ADK, which is the open source agent framework from Google, into Kagent. So Kagent is going to have built-in integration with ADK. So when we started the project, we picked AutoGen. That's because, first of all, ADK hasn't born yet. Second of all, we wanted to get something working first, but then as we were developing Kagent, we realized people have different requirements. Some people may want one framework, AutoGen, maybe some other people want ADK, and we look at ADK, we like the project, but we also want to allow users to bring their own framework. So if you're using LangGraph or Crew AI, you can bring it also to Kagent. And as long as your agent to agent are using A2A protocol, we'll be able to support it inside of Kagent. So that these two pieces are coming. The other thing really exciting is also we allow users to bring your own MCP. So not only you can easily run an external MCP, a popular one like the GitHub MCP server I showed, you can also bootstrap your MCP server project very easily and deploy it to Kubernetes and work with Kagent very easily. So that's what that bring your own MCP allows people to do if they want to either develop their own MCP server or just simply consume an existing MCP server. The other key interesting point here is another related project, Agent Gateway, which we got asked a lot on how Agent Gateway project going to interact with Kagent. So Agent Gateway is combined our multiple years of expertise of building Rust-based proxy in Istio with Istio's Z-tunnel. We took some of that code with the same set of author and started a new project called Agent Gateway. And we decided not to reuse Envoy proxy because we look at Envoy proxy and look at what it takes to implements and supports MCP and A2A. We find out the gap is very big, the effort is huge. Because of the unique nature of MCP and A2A, and also the unique nature of AI agents, which is very context sensitive, which is also like multiplex with the conversation. So we decided it makes sense for us to innovate our own AI gateway from ground up using Rust, leveraging our expertise in Z-tunnel, building Rust-based proxy, highly scalable. So that's another project. Agent Gateway is coming, and we will have a nice integration between Agent Gateway and Kagent, because guess what? All the communication I was showing right in my demo for my agents talking to the MCP server, Agent Gateway plays a very nice role there to govern the communication, to secure the communication, to provide observability for the communication. And likewise, if you are having your agent communicate to large language model, or your agent communicate to another agent, having Agent Gateway in the middle of the conversation can help mediate and govern that communication. So we believe it's an important puzzle to complete our vision for Kagent to bring agentic AI to cloud native. I think that's all I have for the slides.
Yeah, we do have two questions. Because we don't have time, we will answer them offline. Eric and Mario, we will on YouTube and LinkedIn, we will comment on them and try to help you. So Lynn, first of all, thank you very much for joining. It was a really informative session for me, and I guess for all the other people going through that and this impressive demo. I really like the fact that Kagent can help solve Kubernetes and Istio issues much faster and easier. And obviously, it's not limited only to that.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so fun to show you what Kagent can potentially do. We have weekly community meeting for Kagent or contributor meeting if folks are interested in either using Kagent or contributing to Kagent. We would love to have you there.
Yeah, so feel free to join. Thank you everyone for watching, and see you next time.
Thank you so much,
Bye.
guys. Thanks, everyone. Bye.